Right then, let's make the card. Now what I've done is that I have used my gluing gun and I have glued all around the edges. So now I've just got to trim here. And then this will give me a flush edge to the card. Now then, using the lighter of my two inks, I tend to use, I put a piece of cloth on first, just kitchen towel, and I put that on top, so that just protects the back a little bit from while I'm inking. And I just dab off, and then I just want to gently do the edges, give them a little bit of definition. As you can see, it just gives the edges, just pops the edges out that little bit. I've got to do all edges, all four sides, no doing. You can go over again if you just want to bring that down a little bit. Now then, using the darker one of the two, don't forget that this one is, as I say, was the warm lipstick. Using the Fired Brick, I just want to flick at the edges. It's just a flick, just to give it that little bit of more interest. You don't have to be too particular about where you go. Just flick, flick, flick. And it just sort of gives it that little bit of a frame. Right, we can put that down to one side. And we can now go on to doing our tag. Now then. Oops, the front door. Right, I'm back. That was just the delivery of my silver and gold mirror board. Now then, doing the tag envelope. We take our tag, our manila tag, and what we do is on the back of the paper is that we put it down and measure. Now, if we measure around here, this then tells us where we can then put the glue without interfering with the mechanism of pulling this tag in and out. So as you can see, I've drawn the edges here, and in the meantime, I've just used my little stamp and just slipped in, taking the edges off. I can do this, because I'm going to do this with my tag as well, just in, make sure it's in, and it just gives it a nice curved edge, helps it move in and out. Now then, taking, let's put that there, my glue, let's go down there, go down there, and there. Now then, one thing I have forgotten to do, cut out the whole half circle here. Never mind, I can do that now, with gentle. On mine, what I've done is that I've marked a line here that shows me halfway on the horizontal and halfway on the vertical. I've also marked here approximately halfway in and the centre point, so that when I come to marry the two up, I can get approximately where I am, and then that's mine. Opening for it. Now then, let's put this onto the mirror card. And before we do that, just ease it a little bit like this. That then just gives it that little bit of a bend for when you point it down. And let's just, there we go. Now then, cutting the edges. I'm using a ruler, clear ruler here. I won't mention whose name it's, I think you all are, but it's got several lines on which I can then use for my edging. Now then, let's just go here, mark here. Mark here. There we go. And just to tie it all in, I'm just going to put the corners in there like that. There you go. Now then, let's just get the top. Now I'm not going to use the same depth. I want to move that up a little bit. So it's got a bit more of a head on it on the top, so it's not flush. Then just let's get our tag in. Just make sure it fits in. There we go. Perfect. Now then, let's get this. We now want to do the tag. Now what I've done is I've taken the tag and where's my thing? I've taken the darker red, the red fabric, and I've just gone over the edges, just bringing it in so it matches up. Again, I'm not being too particular with this, I'm just giving it a squirt. There we go, so it's just takes that edginess off. And then I've gone ahead and I've printed our bear. Along with, I printed the dress and the headband and the flower. And I've gone ahead and cut those out. Now, if you're cutting out and you do make a little mistake, don't worry, just take a black pen and just touch up the edges where you've gone and you just cut through. There we go. Now then, with my bow, what I've done is I've taken it and I just slightly squished it up a little bit. That's a crafty term, squishing. Just so it gives it a little bit of dimension. Now, I'm using a wet glue because I find with a wet glue, it gives me a little bit of freedom to move it about and to place it. So let's put that there, and then just there. Now with the flower again, just don't be too busy, just squish it in a little bit. There we go. Just so it gives it that little bit of freedom. Now let's put this dress on, shall we? And with our wet glue, just a line. Obviously, you'll take more time in gluing. I'm just doing this because it's quickly, and I haven't got the time on YouTube to stand there and do it. And then with the flower, double glue there, a little bit of glue, and then just finish it. Now, what I didn't mention on my introduction was the use of some glitter pens. I've just got a couple here. Then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to, obviously when it's dry, you can just highlight there, use another colour, pink here, and there's just not particularly, just sort of freehand, just sketch. You don't have to be too strong or too particular about it, because it's not an exact science. You're just sort of adding a little bit of detail. Okay, and again with the just add, because what you want is that you want it to catch the light. You want it to sort of glisten when they've got it. Then the final thing we need to do is put in our ribbon. I find the best way is I go through and then up. That gives me a nice finish at the top. Then there we have it. There we have our tag. Now then, glue.